This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hi, and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence the name of the segment. And today I have Otis McGregor, where he is the founder of Tribe and Purpose. And I'm going to let him tell you more about that. But first, Otis, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Foo, man. Good to see you today. And thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time to have a conversation with value for me and for the audience, because I love learning in my show too. So let's start with giving the audience a quick introduction. Tell us what you do and why.
So we work with veteran business owners and help them get clarity and resolve in their purpose, and then build a tribe around that so they can have more success in their life. You know, and you think about it, there's a number of ways to have that tribe, whether it's the guys and gals in the company team, or one of the things that we do with Tribe and Purpose is we pull those guys and gals together, those veteran business owners together to form a tribe so that they can work together in a theory is not the right word, but in abundance, a philosophy of abundance. I think it's philosophy of abundance to help everybody in that tribe succeed. And that's the real secret to the success is yeah, I'm a coach and I do one-on-one, but man, when we get together, when these tribes get together on these calls, you're not just getting my experience and my knowledge and my coaching, you're getting it from all these other people that are members of the tribe and how they see your problem sets. And that's a powerful place to be. So instead of a 1-to-1, it's 1-to-7, 1-to-8. And you think about that, the power that you get from that, in that sense of 8 people who have different perspectives and different experiences, helping you with your business and your troubles and frustrations and celebrating with you. It's not all about this sucks. It's also about, hey man, that's freaking great. You know, we'll do the virtual high five on Zoom. So yeah, that's what we do. You can tell I get excited about it.
Yeah, I can tell. Definitely, I can tell that you get excited. And that's good, because being passionate about what you do, it's a very important thing, especially when you're when you're in an entrepreneurial journey or when you are doing a business, because things get tough often.
That's an understatement.
So because they get tough often, you need to have that passion, so you make sure that you don't quit when it gets tough, right? And then the tribe part, it's just an extra level of that. Like, you're passionate, but not only you're passionate, you're not alone now, and you have support, and also you're able to give more value to more people instead of just talking one-on-one, so that way it gets reciprocated too, right? So it's like not just supporting that one person, supporting 7-8 people, and then now they support me back. So that is very, very important. And I found a lot of value in communities, like incredible. Like most of the reason of my success is because I've become part, like the PR guy of communities, and then that has to, turn out to be very very powerful and valuable for me.
Let me say something about the passions too, because I want to take that to the next level, because I mentioned purpose, right? So passions kind of come and go in our life. Purposes are much more enduring in our life. And the way I like to think about your purpose is that it's that fuel. It's the fuel that pulls you out of bed to action each and every day. It's the fuel that drives you to work on the daily tasks that move you to the objectives, that move you to the goals, that help you achieve that vision that you have for success in your life. That's what purpose does. It pulls you into action. It's not just this grandiose thing. It's that thing that, you know what, when you wake up in the morning, you're like, I really don't want to But you know what? When you have purpose and you have clarity in your purpose, you go, all right, well, I may not want to, but I know I need to because I want these other things to happen. That's the power of understanding what your purpose is.
Definitely. I completely agree with that. And I resonate with it because that's the reason that I wake up every day. That's the reason that I do things. Like things get tough often. I just over 2 years since I started my entrepreneurial journey. I've been full time doing it for a little bit over a year and a half. So you probably know if you're in business and you've survived a lot of things, you know that those first 2 years are pretty rough. And the reason that I stick with it and I really like push forward and really find a way to always just get things done. Doesn't matter my motivation, doesn't matter how I'm feeling. Even when I had COVID, I did take don't burn out like that. And that's not what I'm doing. That's not the advice. But and if you're sick, just rest. But then even when okay, I'm feeling good, I rested all day. Let me just get a couple hours of work. Why? Because I have the purpose. I have that drive that is like this is bigger than me. This is not like there have people that depend on me. I have people in my team like they eat from what I provide. Like this is big. This is way bigger than just making money. It's impact and it's survival for my employees and myself. So it's way bigger than just money.
So true. So true. And if money is your motivator, you're never gonna have success. I'll just throw that out there right now. If you think that making more money will make you happy, you are chasing the wrong rabbit down the hole. I'll just say that because there's never going to be enough in your bank account if that's the way you're living.
Yeah. And that's why my focus has been a lot of how can I provide the most amount of value given the resources that I have for me? And I'm always like, how can I make like I'm giving so much value that people feel like them, like I gotta work with him, or I gotta be surrounding myself from like being around food. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Because food is great. Like food gives me value. He gives me like he can teach me things. Like I'm always like I'm very open about the information because there's so much information out there. If you want to find information about PR, you can just Google and find it, but nothing like having someone that is living it every single day. I live off this and I can tell you directly what has worked and what has not. And that's like the real value of being with me because that's why I call myself a PR strategist. I come with the strategy because I live and breathe this. And that's my value. And I'm way more than just PR. Like I'm full. I have all this like different things that I learn in 2 languages and I can provide value in so many ways. So that's, I make myself like as valuable as possible. And that's why then I get money and stuff, not just because I'm focusing on that. So,
well, and you mentioned something earlier that you love to do, and that's that always improving yourself and always learning. And I do the same thing, there's books on the bookshelf behind me, but there's also, I'm reading those, I'm attending webinars, I'm going to conferences. I'm always looking for not what's the next latest and greatest, but how's a better way to do something? What's a better way to approach a problem? What's a different way of looking at it so that I can share that with my clients and my tribe members so that they can have more success. It's that if you think of yourself like what you were talking about as a resource that you can summarize because you've learned all this stuff. Now they don't have to go back and spend hours researching it. You can coach and guide them, take these steps, do these things, and you can have X. Or you're right, they can go on to Google, how to PR, and they can spend the next 25 hours researching how to PR, and they'll get about 5% of what it is that you do. Whereas they hire a guy, an expert like you, and then it's like, dude, this is wow, bang, bang, bang. It's that helping somebody leap ahead is what I whether it's in a client relationship or a mentoring relationship or coaching, whatever it is, when you help somebody leap ahead, so that they get more. And then guess what they do? They give back too. That's the other thing. You mentioned your team and helping your team part of you know that your team depends on you. So that's part of what pulls you each day. Man, think of the people that you help and people that I help and their teams, and how their teams are having more success and they're growing and they're living happier and getting more out of life. That's exciting stuff. I love that.
Definitely. It's about, like, everything it's either money or time, right? Like, would you have the money to invest so you can save in time so you don't have to learn everything, or did you rather spend the 24 hours and try to learn this and then apply it and then like fail probably a couple of things and then try it again, blah blah, right? It's just about, like, it's money and time. Like, what do you want to sacrifice? Like, you want to sacrifice your time, you want to sacrifice your money, basically, or invest, right? I wouldn't not have to consider it sacrifice, right?
Right.
But yeah, so another question that I like asking all my guests is, do you have any tips or advice, other than the great advice that we already been talking about, but like anything more specific to business owners in general, or people that would like to do what you do?
Yeah. Well, here's a general piece, is that life is managed. Life is not balanced. This philosophy, this BS, I'll call it, like I believe it is, of work and life balance is just that. It's BS. That's somebody selling crappy watered down soup. That's what that is. Your life is your life. Everything that goes on in your life, there's no on and off switch. So you have to understand how to manage your life. And managing your life puts you in control of your life, of your time. Your most precious asset is your time. And when you start to live your life with intention, then you can live your life with intention in pursuit of your purpose to achieve your vision of success. That's life is managed. You have to understand that, and not think in this, there's only two parts of me, life and work. How is that? How can there only be two parts? There's more going on in your work. There's a lot more going on outside your work. It's all life. So you got to understand how to do that. What's important to you, so that you can prioritize those things, because where you spend your time, whether consciously or subconsciously, is where you're demonstrating what's important in your life. So think about that today.
Yeah, definitely. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. That's kind of like something that I learned from my song from Disclosure, actually. But it's also something that my massage therapist was telling me, like, where the focus goes, the energy flows, and results show. I think that's what she added.
That's
So I think
Tony Robbins.
I think Tony Robbins got it from somebody else. It's like it's an ancient quote or something like that.
Right.
So it's pretty cool. Like like when you said that, it just automatically thought about that, because it's true. Like, where your focus determining everything. There's no such thing as I don't have enough time. You're just not focusing enough in the right things. That's it, right? And I mean, I say this, but I'm not saying this is easy. It's
no,
yeah.
it's a lot of work. It really does, and a lot of practice. And there's a lot of fall downs. There's a lot of stumbles. There's a lot of going back to the old habits, because they're habits, right? So we fall back in them, and whether it's how you're spending your time, or whether or not you're doing things that you say you want to do, or you get into the social media thing, and next thing you know, you spend an hour scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, and it's like, crap, really? Was it that important? I said I was going to read for 30 minutes a day, and I just spent an hour surfing, one of the social media things, instead of doing something to make myself better.
Hey, we all fall into that, and I'm very conscious about it now. Every time it's like, come on, just put this away. You don't need this. Like, what are you gonna do in your phone? Do it. Put it away. Because it's easy to get distracted especially when you're doing something that is tough, or you're not even sure. I found myself doing that, because it's like, okay, I need to write this email, but I need to find this, and then I need to do that. I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to say this, or blah blah. And then it's like, oh, let me look like some inspiration here, and then I see something and oh, this is more interesting than trying to be frustrated here, trying to develop this email or trying to create this proposal or just trying to do something that I don't like doing, or I'm not sure what I'm doing. Because uh, that brings you to the point of strategy is such what I think is the most important thing in business, because after you lay down the strategies, just follow the steps and it's way more easy to do. But when you don't have the strategy, you have to come up with it. That's when I find myself getting distracted and be like, "Ah, like I just don't even know what to do, what to start. Like let me go look for inspiration or like get distracted a little bit and I get distracted for too long." So I just want to say that.
Well, and that's true, but I'll give you something. You'll laugh at how simple this is, to how to overcome that. It is to break contact with what you're doing. Stop what you're doing and go do something different. My favorite is to go take a walk, and it doesn't. I'm not talking about like go out for an hour. I'm talking about 5-10 minutes, because what happens in that 5 or 10 minutes when we've got writer's block, let's call it, and we're pounding our head on the keyboard trying to get that article started, that email or whatever it is. We just can't get in the mood. When we step away from it, our subconscious continues to work on it. That's the secret to it, because we allow the front of our brain, that's about as medical as I'll get, the front of our brain to relax. Meanwhile, the subconscious, that nugget in the middle of your brain, like I said, I'm very, very technical in my medical terms. The subconscious is still working on the problem. You ever had shower thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Got them all the time, right? You know why you have shower thoughts? It's because you're in the shower, you're scrubbing up, doing your hair, getting it all nice and clean, right? Like we were talking about earlier, taking care of our hair. And all of a sudden, our mind is relaxed from all these other problems that we've got. And it goes, boom, the subconscious says, hey, 6 + 8 is 14. Oh my gosh, you're right. That's it. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Right? It's so simple, but yet we will sit there for another hour and pound our head on the keyboard in frustration to get that. I gotta get this. As opposed to doing something that's good for us. Get up and walk, right? Get the blood flowing, take a break, step away from the problem set, and let the mind relax just a little bit. And that subconscious is still going. It's still working.
Yeah, definitely is something that I keep in mind. It's just this is a very common advice that I get. So it's something I like doing that. Like, and now I'm gonna be more conscious about it, to be honest. I'm gonna be like, hey, like this needs to be something that I'm gonna just do a walk, because I do it sometimes, but I definitely need to do it more often. So another question I want to ask you is do you have a big challenge, could be recent or could be in the beginning of your journey, that you would like, that taught you something very important that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I think my biggest is still my scar is still healing over, was this thought that I had when I shifted and opened up Tribe and Purpose, that all I had to do was write a book and start a podcast, and people would just come to me. They'd be knocking on my front door, right? That is wrong. That was a tough lesson to learn, that you just can't put a sign out in your front yard and expect people to walk up to your door and say, hey, Tribe and Purpose, I want some, right? It doesn't work that way. Don't care how many books, that you might have on the shelf or podcasts or whatever it is. You've got to target who you're going to help, your niche, and then you've got to understand how to help them. And they've got to digest it and agree to it, that it's not my good idea, that it's their good idea, that they need that help, that I do. That was a huge lesson learned for us, that we're still, I don't know if you call it recovering from it, but still learning from it. I mean, frankly, and I think you continue to learn from that sense in business. Who is your niche? What do they want? What do they need? What do they look like? Where do they go? How do you continue to refine that and grow that understanding and talk to them so that they say, yes, I really do need what you have and I want to pay for it.
Yeah. I like how you said it's not my good idea. The thing is to educate them and just have valuable conversations that you see that you get them to. It's like, oh, I got a great idea, I should be working with you. Not like, I have a great idea, you should be working with me. Yes. Right. And that's a very simple thing that you said, and it really got me. It was thought-provoking for me, and I was like, oh, look, like, because I've heard about the same thing but a different way, and I really like it this way. So I just want to give you props for that.
Thank you.
So we've covered some very good information. I think this conversation was flowing very well, and I feel very good about it. And I know that there's probably gonna be some people gonna be, you know what, I want to have my own tribe, I want to be part of tribes. I mean, communities are everything. If you need to be part of communities. If you don't think so, just think about it. But make it your great idea, right? But
that's right.
You should get that. You should probably be thinking about, it's a great idea to contact Otis. And I want to ask you, like, what's the easiest way for people to find you?
Yeah, the easiest way is to go to tribe-purpose.com. Click that get started button, and that'll take you down the road. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter, the Monday Moments newsletter. It's a great way to kick off your week with lessons that I've learned from this week, so that next week you don't carry that baggage that I carried. So and then you can also schedule a call with me. That link's in the same spot. So tribe-purpose.com, and click the get started button, and look forward to talking to you.
Perfect. Yeah, the link is here in the description. It's but I like getting people to say it, because some people listen to podcasts on while they're cleaning and stuff. I mean, I do that. I'm doing other stuff and listening to it, so it's good to kind of get that message in your subconscious always, like, oh, remember, Tribe and Purpose. Let me just go and Google them. So yeah. Thanks for making it easy, and in that like weekly newsletter, that makes it very good for, okay, I want to see what he's about. Let me just sign up and see what he's about first, and oh, I like it. I kind of want to talk to him. So it's a great way to capture the people and lead with value, right? Like, that's something that I advertise a lot. So, Otis, I just want to thank you for taking the time. This was a very pleasant conversation for me, and I hope that we will be talking again, because we're doing some press and stuff. So definitely we'll be talking. So I look forward for those conversations, and I hope that people can find value in this. So I just want to say thank you, and this is Otis and Fu signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.